All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us for our Thursday morning virtual coffee. This week, we are going to talk about expireds. So, um, Aaron introduced himself to me, I don't know, a couple of months ago, probably. And his history is really interesting. He's started over a couple of different times, moving his family and his business to different areas of the country, and each time really used working with expireds to jumpstart his business and basically be able to pick it up from one city and move it to another and just keep going, right? I think that's what we all want to be able to do is have a strong business that is not only because it's where you've lived your entire life, right? So when he mentioned that he has three questions that he can ask someone when he makes the phone calls for expireds and have them willing to work with them immediately. I thought, well, okay, this is something that we want to know. So, Aaron, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your past, and then what are those three
What's the
secret
three questions?
questions?
What's the three magic questions? Okay, so what's going on, everybody? My name is Aaron Wittenstein. I am now a realtor in Southwest Florida, as well as I hear like a ton of people are. And I'm outside. I'm in Lakewood Ranch, which is outside of Sarasota. So I cover Sarasota and Manatee County. I have been a realtor now for 24 years. I started when I was 19 years old. Okay. I had a lot of red curly hair at that point when I first started. A lot. Now it's like one transaction. Every transaction I lost one. But so I started off in Chicago. That's where I was born and raised. I sold in Chicago for 10 years. And there I was predominantly a buyer's agent. I worked all buyers, completely buyer based. All right. My last year that I was working in Chicago, I sold 40 buyers within the span of year. That was not fun whatsoever. And then I moved to New York because my wife's originally from New York. We had my son Lucas, who at that time was 6 months old, and we wanted to be closer to family. I started working buyers in New York, and anybody here, Charles Olson, who knows how it is working with buyers in New York, by the way, Charles and I are good friends. It's not, it's like the Wild West. And so I was sitting in a training with an agent in Arizona who mentioned he works specifically sellers. All he works is sellers. That's all he, and I'm like, well, that sounds kind of cool, you know? So I'm like, I dove into it. I got connected with Vulcan 7 in regards to the data. I met someone who was doing a guy in North Carolina or South Carolina, introduced me to them. I started dialing expires. Like, keep in mind, I had a background in like telemarketing, for lack of better terms. I did that during high school and college. And then I started prospecting expireds in November of, this was 14, I want to say. And I did November, December, and January. I prospected anywhere between 3 to 8 hours a day. Dead serious, absolutely dead serious. 3 to 8 hours a day on prospecting. Not a lot more competition now, yet keep in mind, I was selling in New York. All right. Somebody guess how many listings I took within those first 3 months. Give me, just someone just throw up a number for me.
Hey,
Zero.
Aaron, would you move the mic a little bit
Down
closer
that
to,
way.
yeah, but much
There we go.
better.
Sorry about that. I took zero. I took zero listings within the first 3 months. Okay. Then that following February, I took 8 listings. In New York, I would historically take anywhere between 30 to 45 listings a year. Okay. Charles can vouch for me on that one, by the way, since we know each other. All right. So I did that. Then COVID hit. Everything got really messed up when COVID hit. It actually became illegal to make prospecting cold calls in the state of New York, which really put a damper on. I mean, at that point, I was probably 50-50, referral based and, prospecting based. And that and a bunch of other factors made me decide to move 2 years ago to Florida, where I basically rebuilt it again. Okay. And right now I'm prospecting every single day. I get on the phone 3 hours a day. I dipped in here to an hour in prospecting that I'll have to make up this afternoon for it to hang out with you guys. All right. So I will prospect 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. The first 6 months, I went New York style on everybody, and that doesn't work here in Florida. So I learned really quickly because I've been licensed for about 15 months here. So things are finally starting to truck. I have an appointment today. I have an appointment on Saturday. I have an appointment set for next Monday. Okay. So, what I've learned when it comes down to expireds is that now, does anybody here prospect expireds out of curiosity? Can you raise your hand? Anybody? Kimberly does. Michael does.
Tried.
Who else said that?
I've tried.
You've tried? Okay, cool. Um, it's when they say it's truly a numbers game, it is truly a numbers game. Okay. Who here has really dove into the numbers of prospecting? Anybody in particular? Charles, yeah, of course you have. Of course you have. Charles is in Brooklyn, by the way. You need anybody in Brooklyn, you call Charles. He's the man. Okay. You got to come out to Florida. We got to hang out. Okay. So who here would consider themselves a numbers person? Or realtors, we're not supposed to be numbers people.
Oh.
I have become a numbers person. So here's the numbers that I've broken down to, okay, is when you speak to 6 people an hour, that equals 6 or 7 people an hour. That equals 20 contacts a day. I'm going to pick on somebody. Barbara Woodham, can you unmute your mic for a second? Bottom left. No, bottom left, bottom left, bottom left, bottom left. I don't want to go elsewhere. There we go. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You put I'm seeing your keyboard now. How are you with math? Simple math.
Pretty good.
Okay,
I
cool.
guess.
All right, so let's say that we speak to 7 people an hour over a 3-hour period of time. What's that number? 7 times 3.
That'd be 21.
21, exactly. All right, let's just round it down to 20 to make our lives easier, okay?
Sure.
So that's 20 people that we've spoken with a day. Now, what is a contact? A contact is a two-way conversation about real estate. Basically getting your pitch out and them saying yes or no is considered a contact, okay? Now, let's say that we're lucky enough to speak to 20 people a day, 5 days a week. That's 20 times 5 equals what?
What? I'm sorry.
20 times 5.
100.
120.
100 people.
100.
All right, 100. All right. If I actually all the calculate commission, we'd be doing much better. Okay, so we speak to 100 people a week. Out of that, we should secure 1 appointment for every 33 contacts. What is 100 divided by 33, roughly?
Well, it's a third, so 3.
Exactly 3. So out of 100 contacts, when you're at a high level, you should get 3 appointments taken per week. Okay. Out of 3 appointments taken per week, guaranteed 1 will cancel on you. All right. And then out of that, 1 out of 2 you should secure. So you said 3 appointments, 1 listing taken. Do that 40 weeks out of the year. That's 40 listings taken a year. Those were my numbers in New York. Okay. At a minimum. Now let's say that you're newer. You're a new agent. You need to get your skills up. You're not even newer. You just never done it before. Cut those numbers in half. And you're looking at 20 listings taken per year at an average of $10,000 per transaction equals $200,000 in commission for working 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. Who would be interested in doing that?
What?
Rock and roll, ready to party, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So any questions so far?
No, I will though. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself.
Sure.
So I'm Barbara Woodham, and I am a loan officer and have been residential for the last 30 years. And so my life has taken little turns, with all the ups and downs and everything. And so a lot of my realtor friends are like, why don't you become a realtor? Because you help us a lot find homes for our clients. So actually, so I am on this coffee call because I am thinking about going and doing the realtor side. And I'm always telling my realtors to look at expired,
Mhm.
because I think that's a great idea. People don't pick up on that as much as they should.
Exactly, because here's the thing with expireds, okay, is how many people, and I'm going to get into the script, by the way, the three questions. I don't want to seem like I'm like bait and switching anybody. I will get into that in a minute. I just think it's important to like preface a couple things first. Who here thinks when you're calling an expired that you're bothering them? Raise your hand, be honest. Be honest, raise your hand. There's no judgments here. We're Planet Fitness. We're judgment free zone. Okay. We're judgment free zone. All right. So here's what I wrote. This is what I wrote. Okay. Remember, people don't sell for fun. They usually have a life changing reason. I am here to fix their problems. Don't leave them with another weak agent. Do all you have to do to help. I'm going to repeat that. Remember, people don't sell for fun. They usually have a life changing reason. I'm here to fix their problems. Don't leave them with another weak agent. Do all you have to do to help. So, theoretically, if you consider yourself a good realtor, these people got taken advantage of. They sat on the market for 6 months. It didn't sell. Their job transfer got messed up. They're seeing their child being born or their grandchild being born got messed up. They're downsized. They can't afford their house anymore. So theoretically, it is your job to serve these people. Okay. So keep that in the back of your mind. You're not bothering them. And it's the lowest hanging fruit you can get. These are people that are willing to sell their home now and willing to work with a realtor and willing to pay out a compensation. What better lead source can you get from that? Is this, raise your hand if this is making sense? Okay. Raise your hand if this didn't make sense. And now what makes sense? Monica Edwards is like, I don't know. I don't know what this guy's talking about. So, all right.
Makes good sense, Aaron.
And there we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So, what it comes down to is what do you say to people? Because, and I'm a scripting guy. Everything comes down to scripting. Scripting is the way to go. So, I've got this right here is my script that I use. Okay. It's a flow chart. Anybody who wants this, I don't know. I don't want to overstep my bounds or anything like that, Debbie. I don't know if I can give them like a number to tag. You tell me the best way that I can get them the script. I don't want to overstep my bounds here. So who wants to role play with me? Oh, I'm gonna go, Charles. Charles, let's go. Let's party here.
Okay, I guess I'm going to be the seller.
You are the seller, correct?
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna go New York style here, everybody. All right, ring ring.
Yo, what's up?
Sir, my name's Aaron. I'm a local realtor. I gotta ask, how in the world did Main Street not sell?
Oh man, I don't know. I have a great house. I put a lot of money into it. I just guess my realtor was a dipshit.
Got it. Well, no, it's a sharp looking place. I don't know your real estate agent enough to say that. Yet, if you could still sell the home, would you sell the home?
Yeah, that's why I had to listen with the real estate agent. What are you going to do for me that the other agent didn't do?
Oh, exactly. It's a great question. That's the first thing we can discuss when we get together. Ironically, I will be in your neighborhood tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Would you be offended if I stop by to take a quick peek?
Uh, Two doesn't work. Can you make it four?
Yeah, yeah, like 4 o'clock works perfectly.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll see you at four. I hope you're sharp because I'm used to I got a million phone calls. What makes you different from everybody else?
It's exactly what we're going to chat about. It's exactly. Plus, it's my beautifully shaped head. So,
All right. I'll see you then. I was easy
all right.
on you.
No, you were. No, let's be a little. So, I appreciate that. That's getting the three questions out. Okay. How in the world did the home not sell? If you still could sell it, would you sell it? Ironically, it'd be in your neighborhood tomorrow at 3. Would you be offended if I stopped by to take a quick peek? That's going to work 10 to 20% of the time. Those are the three magic questions. Okay. What people don't realize is that there's 80% of it. 80% is the script, 20% is skill set. Okay. Because calls don't go that easy. All right. So, Charles, would you mind busting me up a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit?
I'll bust your chops.
Okay. Bust my chops. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, sir. Good morning. My name's Aaron. I'm a local realtor. Just wondering, how in the world did Main Street not sell?
You know, you're like my 10th call today. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't sell. I suppose the agent didn't know what he was doing.
Sure, sure. No, I understand that. Now, if you could still sell it, would you sell it?
Yeah, I got to get out of here.
You're being too easy on me.
What's that?
You're being too easy on me.
Mike, put the mic closer to you. I can't hear you.
I said you're being too easy on me.
Yeah, I'd still sell it, but I think I'm selling it myself this time.
Got it. It's actually funny. I actually just wrote this one down. Yeah, you only get to sell it once, right?
I suppose, yeah, unless my deal falls through for some reason.
Exactly. So it really comes down to the amount of money that you get in your pocket. And it doesn't matter if I sell it, you sell it, or a monkey on a tricycle sells it. Wouldn't you agree with me on that?
Yeah, I want to get the most amount of money, but like, I'm tired of real estate agents. This agent that he barely showed up. He didn't answer my calls. He didn't bring anything near what I wanted for the home.
Hmm.
What do you do differently that's going to allow you to sell the home where I just can't do this myself? I saw what the other guy did. He put it on Zillow, he put it on Street Easy.
Hmm.
I'm tired of the process. I got to get out of here. What are you
Sure.
going to do differently?
That's a great question, and that's exactly what we'll discuss when I swing
Why
by and
can't you
have.
tell me over the phone?
Because here's what I found, okay, is that I can tell you that I do aerial video tours. I can tell you I do Facebook advertising. I can tell you that I send out mailers and all that type of stuff. But there's no value until you've actually tangibly seen something in what we do. And the one thing that I heard as well is communication is rather important to you. Is that correct?
Yeah, the other agent wasn't too communicative.
Okay. The one thing that I offer is a cancellation agreement at any time. So that way, if for whatever reason you feel uncomfortable, you can cancel that agreement. Is that something that would make you feel a little bit more
So you're
comfortable?
basically saying after 3 weeks, if I don't like what you're doing or the results, I could fire you right then and there.
When I walk out of my house and you don't like the way my backside looks, you can kick me out.
I when are you thinking of coming by? I don't have a lot of patience for this. I don't have a lot of time. When are you thinking?
I could do. I'm out that way today at 2 o'clock.
Can you do it a little bit later?
Sure. What are you thinking? 4 or 5?
Yeah, 4:30. How about that?
Done deal.
Okay. All right. I'll see you then.
Thank you.
All right. A little harder.
A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. So if you notice, he didn't. It's this is all practice. It takes practice. Skill comes with practice.
Yeah, I will say, Aaron, when it comes to role play, because we've role played over the years, and I haven't played the part of a seller in a while, so I'm out of practice role playing as a difficult seller. So when you role play, you need to be both prepared on the agent side and the on the client side, what you're going to say, right? I could have just given you scripts. Well, I don't know when I want to move. I don't, I could have been ambivalent about everything, and then it's not going to go well, right? You need to be practiced on both sides.
Exactly. And I mean, there's so many objections that come up. There's so many objections that come up. Something like, do you have a buyer? I wish I did that. It made both of our lives a lot easier. Where were you in my house for sale? I was showing, buyers, other different properties and it's my job to represent them on the purchase of their home, not yours. Yet when you
Right.
hire me, it is then my job to represent you on the sale of your home. Okay. There's so many objections that come up. And a lot of people, let me know if I'm doing okay on timing, by the way, Debbie. I'm just, I don't know how much time I have here
Yeah,
today.
like 5 more minutes, Aaron.
All right, cool. I'm good. So I'll do this then. I'll leave it open. Who has questions for me?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the practice to not sound scripted? So I know that you guys were doing the role play, but it sounds so non-authentic to me that I probably would hang up after the first half a second. When you ask me why my home didn't sell, that would be my cue to just hang up the phone.
But see, that's you. Not,
I feel like that's a lot of people,
but here's what I'll say though. Okay,
Mhm.
out of 100 people that I speak with, I only need 3 people to say yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So to you, you're a realtor, so I sound scripted. Okay. Yet
Yeah.
what happens is it's amazing how many times I go, how in the world did Main Street not sell? And they laugh. And
Hey,
when they
Aaron, can I say
laugh,
something on that?
yeah, go ahead.
So, Dawn, I agree. This might have sounded scripted, but when you practice the scripts and the conversations, Aaron and I have known each other for a long time, and we've practiced role play. So maybe we sound a little bit scripted, but I can promise you, if you practice the scripts and you say them over and over again, you listen to them, they will start to come out of your mouth naturally. The first 1 or 2 times it may sound scripted, but after you've done it, listen to them and said it out loud 100 times by yourself or in a role play session, it'll come out naturally and will not sound scripted. I promise you
Yeah,
that.
that's my question. I mean, how long does it take before I don't sound like I'm
A robot. It's just everybody's different. So it takes time. And when I role play back and forth with an agent, it's going to come off different than when I'm speaking with the client, because when
Yeah.
you're speaking with the client, you're going to do a lot more mirror and matching and, upswings, downswings, pacing, all that type of stuff. It's just, there's no definitive time that it's going to take. It's just you practice every single day and eventually it becomes yours.
Aaron, you just hit a point. If we have time for one more role play, I'd love to do it. I'm going to, upswing, downswing, be more trepidatious, or whatever, be more, let's sound unscripted.
Hang on one sec. Charles, hang on one sec. Melissa was raising her hand vehemently with the question. Melissa, what do you got?
Yeah, I have two questions. I noticed that you kept it very generic, and that brings me to wondering, are you doing any research on the home before you call them, or you're just like trying to get them to make that appointment with you, and then at that point, you're kind of doing research on what happened to the listing and so forth?
Yeah, so what I found is, and I'm assuming you're more analytical of a type of
Mhm.
person, is that your instinct is going to be, I got to figure out what the square footage is, what the bedrooms, how much it's worth. When you start getting in your head like that, you're going to talk yourself out of the phone call. Okay. For me, what I do, I get the address and I do the dirty work afterwards.
Okay. And then I have one more question. My next question is, where are you getting the expirables from and how far back are you going? So I've done it like immediately expired within 30 days. Someone told me expired within six months ago. Like what is your opinion on that?
Sure. So what I do is I have a system down that I utilize. Okay. Where are you located, Melissa?
South Florida on the
Okay.
east side.
Cool. All right. Beautiful. So here's what I do is I call what I call zone one, which are the
Mhm.
areas that I want to work. Okay. That's for me, it's Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch. Those are my hot areas. Those I call right off the bat, like first thing in the morning at 8 o'clock. Then I have zone two, which is everything else. Okay. That should take me 30 to 45 minutes to an hour. The cool part about being in Florida is what happens is you have something called zone guard, which means you can't call the Midwest until 9 o'clock Eastern time. So I'll go through the list again at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So my goal is to get through day 1 to 7 is what I call them. The brand new ones 3 to 5 times a day.
Sure.
And then kind of go wherever I want after that.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Debbie, how are we doing on time there?
Aaron, are you calling the list 3 to 5 times a day, or are you calling that particular contact 3 to 5 times a day until you reach them?
I'm calling the brand new ones for the day 3 to 5 times in the first day.
The same contact.
Same contacts.
Wow.
So, Aaron, there's a great question in the chat. It says, "What is your conversation when it expired because it was overpriced due to seller greed or unreasonable expectations?"
That's a conversation in person that you're going to have with them. Everything comes down to motivation. All right. So there's always 3 questions that I ask before I go out to meet with a potential seller. I've seen prequals that are, 30 questions long. For me, it's where are you moving to? When do you need to be there by? And what brings you there? And who else is involved in the process? If they say, I need to be in New Mexico by next Tuesday because my wife and I have job transfers, if they're high on price, they're going to need to come down. Now, if they say, I don't care when I move, it makes no difference to me whatsoever, that may not be the proper listing for you. Then you go on the appointment based upon motivation and you have that pricing conversation there.
Excellent. Excellent. Anyone else have one more question for Aaron before we do our breakout rooms?
That's why I haven't been worried about walking living ready out.
Michelle, are you asking a question?
It was about 7:30 your time.
No,
I know
it
she was
don't
getting
sound
ready to
like
go. I should have
Oh.
called up earlier.
Sorry, Garland. I was trying to mute Michelle and I got you. So please unmute yourself.
I got you. My question is, you talked to 6 people in an hour?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you must not stay on the phone very long?
It varies. Keep in mind, out of the 6 people you speak with,
Yeah.
5 just may be no, we're not looking to sell anymore. And then you say not
Oh,
now or not ever.
oh, okay.
And then the
Okay.
6th one, like today, I talked to a lady from Miami who's got a place in Sarasota that got flooded, but she still wants to sell. You know what I mean? So it's like you're not having 6. If you are,
Not
that's
6
amazing,
conversations.
but that's a
Not
good day. Like you have 6 elongated conversations. That's a
yeah.
really good day.
Right. Right. Okay. Now I understand.
Excellent. All right. So Aaron, why don't you, and I'm probably catching you off guard here, so I apologize,
It's okay.
but why don't you give us a breakout room question? So we're going to go into breakout rooms here, and there's usually 4 to 5 people in a breakout room. We've got a full room today, so we're going to have a lot of breakout rooms. We need an icebreaker question. It can be something about, a question that you can use, how much they're doing, whatever. Give us a question to use in the breakout rooms.
What is the one thing you would do on a daily basis? What is the one thing you could do on a daily basis to bring your business to the goals that you set at the beginning of the year?
All right, that's a great question. Okay, here we go, guys. I'm opening all of the rooms and turning off the recording. You guys go to your rooms.